Am I the astronaut for telling my son's babysitter not to give him any snacks? Seems like a reasonable thing. My son, 5, has a babysitter, 20, that picks him up from school every day, takes him to soccer, tutoring, swim, etc., then takes him home and does homework until we get home. We were grocery shopping and my son picked up a box of Capri Suns and asked if he could have it because it was his favorite. I asked him where he was getting it from and he said his babysitter has bins full of snacks in her car and he gets to pick out whatever he wants when she picks him up from school or practice. I had him point out whatever else his babysitter was giving him, and it was almost all processed crap. She's been giving him chocolate granola bars, fruit snacks, bags of chips, goldfish, and applesauce. I texted the babysitter and asked her about this, and she said that my son is always hungry after school and practice, and this is easier than stopping to buy him a snack. I told her I don't want her to give him any snacks anymore, and she said she'd be happy to do that if I pack an after-school snack and send it to school with him because she doesn't have the time to take him home and grab him a snack before his activities. I told her it would only be a couple of hours and she can just have him wait until they get home, but she said she will not be working with a hangry 5-year-old for 2 to 4 hours, so I could pack a snack. She could give him a snack or she could quit. I told my husband about this and he said it's fine and it's not like he eats much better at our house. He gets a lot of these things as an occasional treat and that none of what she gives him is that bad. I told him I expect more for how much we pay her. She gets $25 an hour, but he still says she's doing nothing wrong. He even texted the babysitter saying to ignore me, she's doing fine, and to send him the receipts for the snacks so he could reimburse her. Am I the astronaut for not wanting her to feed my son crap every day? Top comment. You're the asshole. Your babysitter is feeding your child with food that she buys. If you want your kid eating something different, send him to school with an after-school snack as your sitter suggested. Your opinion is that the kid should just be hungry? That's where I get lost in all of this. I'm like, hold up, OP. Your solution is to make your kid... Have you never picked up a kid from school, OP? Sounds like you haven't because you have a sitter to do all those things for you, which is great. I am happy for you. However, if you have never experienced what it's like to pick up a kid from school and knowing how hungry they are, it's a thing. You pick up a kid from school and they're hungry immediately. Like the first thing they're going to do when they get home is ask for some kind of snack or dive in and get a snack. It is going to happen. Also, if this kid goes straight from school to soccer, tutoring, swim, whatever, you don't think they're going to need to build up some energy for that? You're just expecting them to go hungry and to be cranky that whole time and for your sitter to just deal with it? Instead of bitching at your sitter, you should be applauding your sitter. Because your sitter recognized the need, went and spent her own money to be prepared to provide for your child. And your response is, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, just don't give him anything. It's not hey, I'm going to get some healthier versions of this stuff that I'd be happy to give you. That would have been the path here. If you didn't agree with sugar content or whatever processed garbage you thought was going on here, which none of it sounds bad, by the way. Also, kids can grow hair and inches of human body by eating toast. I don't know how. It's amazing. They can turn anything into growth serum. It is wild. None of this sounds terrible, but if you do have a real problem with what she's giving your child, then offer to replace it with the healthy alternatives of things that you would appreciate her giving. The solution is not nothing. It's not. I don't know how mom sees that as a viable alternative here. If anything, that just signals an extreme disconnect from her child. Your sitter is more of a mom than you are right now because she knows your child better than you do. That's a red flag, lady. And the fact that your solution was to just have your kid go hungry is another signal of a disconnect. But you don't know what your kid's going to be like when they're hangry. And your sitter does. This seems like a control issue, not a real hunt for a solution. This is I'm pissing on things to mark my territory kind of issue, not I really have a problem with this and I would like for my child to be eating healthier, because if that were the case, she'd be substituting things, not canceling things. This is a control issue. Well done, Mom. You might have just lost a really good sitter. Hopefully, hubby is able to override you here. And as much as I dislike the partners here working against each other, your husband is trying to save the relationship with a really good sitter. And that I do agree with. And you were out of line here. Absolutely. Where Where does mom go here? It's not just, so the question is, am I the Astronaut for telling my son's babysitter not to give him any snacks? Seemed harmless at first. It's not. It's definitely not. She definitely could have done it differently. Definitely should have done it differently. I'm thinking at least a 2 here. Definitely shouldn't have done that. I don't think she's evil, but I think a different part of her is driving this decision than she realizes. Taking a trip to 2, Mom. Taking a trip to ASCON 2. You definitely should not have done this. Recognize where the need to oppose this is truly coming from. And I truly believe this is a territory issue, because if it weren't, you would have just simply offered healthier alternatives. It's awesome that your sitter is prepared and knows your kid well enough to be able to anticipate those kind of needs. That is a great sign. A 20-year-old kid isn't going to have the same experience about choosing healthier snacks, as a parent will, who's an older adult. They aren't going to have that same experience. If you want input, replace them. It is as simple as that. Instead, you just came off as an asshole. You know what? Okay. Candy Thunder, and a lot of people here are saying, I feel ASCON 1, you don't let your 5-year-old go hungry and say that's okay. Damn it. You know what? You're right. So mom, in this case, we're upgrading. We're upgrading mom to 1 because she allowed her selfishness to cause her child pain. She would rather her child go hungry than suggest an alternative or just allow this to continue. She would rather her kid go hungry. That sucks. And yeah, as much as I want to be understanding about this, yeah, it's bad.